What's up guys, Josh from Belk Detailing here. Today I'm going to be showing you how I wash my ceramic coated 2022 Chevy Colorado here at the Blue Iguana car wash off of South Fremont here in Springfield. This car wash is by far the best self-serve car wash I've ever been to. It's very clean, it's in a great location, close to my place, and it's $5 for unlimited wash time, which means I can hang out here for as long as I want for only $5 instead of a lot of these other ones running you up 20, 30 bucks in quarters. I've got a unlimited membership here, but a lot of the times you'll pull up to this kiosk if you don't, and then you can select self-serve here at this kiosk, and then you would just pull around to the bay. Once you're in a bay, we are going to go over to this box, which has got all our different options on it. For today, I'm just going to be using rinse. You can use the soap, but I brought my own. They also have a wheel and tire brush as well as a body brush on the wall, and I'm not going to be using those today. Again, I brought all my own stuff. When I start washing my truck, I always start with the wheels. This is typically a very time-consuming part of the detail. I don't do my wheels every time, but I like to do it every few weeks. I'll wash out the fender wells, as you can see here when I get started. Make sure I've gotten all the grime and grass or whatever's kicked up into there out of the fender wells. Rinse off my tire and my wheel, get off all the surface level stuff. And then I'm going to spray my wheel cleaner on here. I can leave a link in the description of the video to the kinds of wheel cleaners we use. But after I've got it all sprayed down here, I'm going to grab my green tire brush. You can see I've got two buckets here. One bucket is for the body, the other one is for the wheels. I like to separate them so I'm not getting the dirty wheel stuff all in the body or the paint bucket. But I'm going to work my way around here with this green wheel brush, getting all the face of the wheel. And then I'm going to move on to the tire. And you can see me grab this blue, stiffer brush here. And this is really going to be a little bit of a better brush for working on the tire, help to remove things a little bit better. And once I'm done with the tire, I'm going to move on to the wheel barrel. I don't do this every time. I usually do it every few weeks. I don't think that it's necessary to do it every time. And so that's why I'm just going to do this one little top spot just to show you guys. There's a million brushes you can buy for working on your wheels and tires. Some people don't care about their wheel barrels, but I like to try to keep them clean. After we hit the wheel, we're going to move on to the, we'll make sure we'll do all the wheels first, but for today's purpose, I'm just going to show you just the one wheel. So after we did all of them, I would move on to the front. This is typically the dirtiest part of the car. It's where all the bugs are going to be collected at. So I always start with this part. Make sure that I give it a good rinsing with the pressure washer. And be sure to try to stay about a foot away from the paint while you're pressure washing this section. That way you're not going to be getting that high pressured water underneath any rock chips and potentially peeling up paint. So just try to be diligent whenever you're pressure washing and not get too close to it. With the ceramic coating, everything shouldn't stick too bad to the paint, so you shouldn't need to sit there point blank and spray things off. And the wash part's going to also get off a lot of the other stuff. So anyway, I'm going to start with the middle of the hood there, and you can see me flipping my towel here. And the reason for that is just to make sure we're using a clean side of the towel so I'm not scratching or marring the paint. And when we do the paint correction, we're removing a lot of scratches that are put in from improper washing. So now that the car is ceramic coated and we've done the paint correction on it and the paint is very clean and most of the scratches are removed, we don't want to put any more in. So I'm going to make sure I'm flipping my towel multiple times here just to ensure that we're using a clean side of the towel for washing the paint. So now that we're done washing it, I'll rinse all this off. After I did the paint on the hood and the front bumper, I did go back and do it a second time. Sometimes you need to. I went on a road trip recently, so I needed to hit it twice to get everything off, but just kind of depending on how much you've driven and how dirty the car is. But after we've done the hood, we're going to move on to the rest of the body panels. I'm going to do the back fender next. I'm going to grab a new towel. I've got several towels in this bucket here. Make sure that I'm folding it up into eighths so I can get as much out of it as possible. So there'll be 8 sides to this towel. I'm going to start with the top here. When washing your car, it's definitely important to start with the top and work to the bottom so that any of the main dirt that's on the bottom of the panels isn't being picked up by your towel and then being smeared into the paint at the top. So again, we'll flip the towel here. Work it from top to bottom. I'm going to split this back fender up into 2 sections because it's a little bit of a bigger one. And again, depending on how dirty your car is, you may need to hit it twice. Flip it over and do it a second time if needed. I'm going to hit the back windshield on my truck here before I rinse all this off. It's a nice little area to get to as I'm doing this back fender. So now that I've washed this back fender off and the back windshield on the passenger side, I'm going to rinse all this off here. You know, you'll see a lot of videos of people complicating the wash process, and maybe this is even complicated to you, but I try to keep it simple. There's a million things you can do, different steps you can take, but now that we're done washing the car, you can move on to drying it. You can see I've got a squeegee in my right hand here, which is the yellow thing, and then the waffle weave blue towel, which again I'll put in the description. I use it to kind of mop up all the water, but the squeegee's purpose is to get off all the main water, and I'll come back over and wipe off everything else with the waffle weave. I'll make sure to constantly flip this just so I'm getting a dry side so I'm not leaving any streaks. Today I'm drying the car in the bay, but on days when this car wash is pretty busy and there are people waiting, I'll try to be respectful and just pull ahead to the vacuums and the air compressors ahead. You can also use the air compressors to kind of help blow out some of the cracks where water is collected, like around the mirror or on the logos and emblems of your car. That's pretty much it for today. Just a heads up on black cars or larger vehicles, I do recommend having like 2 or 3 different drying towels. It's very difficult to get it all dry with one. Hope this was helpful for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks.